Okay, so welcome to the What Every Woman Wants podcast, everybody. It's been a while since I've done a podcast. Life has been so busy. But in the process of the busyness, I had a recent trip to Thailand, as you would have seen, shared it on the socials many times for you to take you on the journey. And I met the most remarkable person, and purely by chance, and I'll get into that in a moment, but you know that whenever I hear or see or feel something that I think will inspire you, then I try to bring that to you in just a real, natural, organic way. And this is one of those times. So I'd like to welcome onto the podcast Ocean. Ocean, welcome. Great to see you.
So much, and great to see you and connect with you again too.
Amazing. Ocean, your work is fascinating. We're about to get into it all, but since leaving Thailand, I have been left with a feeling, an energy, a thing, and I'm still trying to find the words to even explain what that thing is. I'm not even so sure, but I have a feeling, and I've spoken to my clients about the feeling, and it really, if I could be really short and succinct, it's a feeling of just being, of letting go, being still, being more present than I've ever been, and feeling a freedom that I've never felt. And it's an amazing, amazing feeling. If I could bottle it, I would. For everybody that works with me, wants to work with me, I would bottle it for them. And you've played a part in that. So I just want to get into Ocean as the person, what you do, and let everybody hear about what it is that you actually do in the world. So can I ask you some questions?
Yes, please. I already have goosebumps from what you shared.
Oh, that's amazing. Ocean, I come to know about you when I was having coffee with two mutual friends in my digs, which is my hotel in Thailand that I usually stay in. And they were talking about you, and like I said to you, it was familiar. The name Ocean was familiar, but I didn't realize I followed you on Instagram. And when they were talking about your work, I was feeling like you. I was getting goosebumps. I was thinking, I've only got a few days left. I need to get a session with this woman. And I did. And it was incredible. Amazing. So I just want to ask you firstly, Ocean, like, what are you all about? Why are you in Thailand? And how did we meet? Yeah, how did we meet in Thailand? Why are you there? What are you all about?
Ah, well, it feels good to feel good. So I think that's one of the things that you experience. And we don't know what we don't know. And until we travel and explore and we're around people that have a similar vibration or an environment that maybe looks different, smells different, but ultimately feels different. Like the first thing you expressed was a feeling. What is this feeling? And the theme this week and even this morning, I was teaching yoga and I just kept repeating, we don't know what we don't know. And so many people are in a country, a lifestyle, a relationship, it's all they've ever known. And so they get used to feeling a certain way, stress, overwhelmed, tired, depleted. And until you experience maybe something completely different and new, you're just going to keep doing what you're doing. And so when I say it feels good to feel good, a lot of times we don't even know what feeling good or feeling free or feeling present, what that feels like, or feeling, for me, the big thing is safety. And I'm obviously a white woman, but I identify with a lot of the Asian cultures and rituals and the whole experience of being here, being near to the ocean, being around palm trees, being in nature, and being around people that, like yourself, are committed to fitness and wellness, whatever that means. On many, that can mean a lot of different things, but I need to be in an environment that supports my physical, mental, emotional, spiritual well-being, emotional well-being. And I traveled a lot and I lived many different lives. And I found this is the place that is most nourishing to me. And all I do really is share what I've experienced through life and share the beauty. A sunset or a sunrise can be amazing to go sit by yourself and be in that beauty. But the experience is so much more powerful when you can share it with someone and be, like, look at this far out. How great is this?
Yeah, definitely. That's so interesting. But if we can go back a wee bit, could you tell us a bit about your story? Like, what is it you do? Like, how did you like arrive in Thailand as a yoga instructor? I actually think of you as a healer, to be honest. From what I know,
Yeah.
what I felt from you, that's what I feel. So, can you tell us a bit about your story?
Yeah, so originally I grew up in Vancouver, BC in Canada, and I was a professional athlete back then. I started dancing when I was very young, like 3 years old. I was in a professional dance company by the time I was 8. So I gained awareness of movement as medicine very young. And
Mhm.
I can honestly say, if I had not found movement as a form of medicine and therapy and release and expression, I probably would have been a drug addict, and I don't think I would be here today. I grew up in, yeah,
Wow.
challenging upbringing,
Okay.
and so I feel really blessed that I found a pathway in
Hmm.
to move through life.
Yeah.
And then I started competing when I was 19. I ended up on the cover of Flex magazine as the youngest female bodybuilder ever to grace the pages.
Wow. Really?
And so I went through this whole decade, actually 14 years that I was in competitive fitness and bodybuilding and a sponsored athlete. And life was very external. It was all about how you look and your
Yeah.
success with how you look. And then a friend of mine got lung cancer and 2 brain tumors. And that same year, I had just a lot of people around me that were suffering with illness. And I was teaching yoga and I was into Thai massage at that point, and I was already noticing a lot of people were having emotional release just through the teaching, through the practices. And then when I saw so many people suffering, I thought, I really want to understand this more because
Hmm.
my friend that got the cancer was a direct reflection of me. We were just a couple years apart, we looked similar. And so that was a big shift. And I thought I need to understand more the internal workings because everything I'm doing and everything around me is about the external. And so
Yeah.
I studied for a year abroad, traveling through Asia. And then I ended up in Phuket at Tiger Muay Thai as the first female
Wow.
instructor to be there.
The
Yeah.
first female instructor in Tiger Muay Thai.
Yeah, there were no females at the time. I
Wow.
was just passing through on my way to India. I was going to study Ayurveda and yoga and do a spiritual retreat. And I was just stopping through to visit a friend. And then they offered me in that 4-day window that I was in Phuket, they offered me a job. I said, no, I can't come work here. Like, this place is super cool, but like I'm going to India. So
Yeah.
they said, please come back. And then that began a new chapter of my life.
And
When
how
I
many
arrived,
years ago was that?
what's that?
How many years ago was that?
15.
15 years ago. What a
Yeah.
trailblazer, though. The first female to work in Tiger Muay Thai, which is now world famous, as we know. Like, who
Yeah.
doesn't
And the
know?
street is
Wow.
amazing as you've experienced, but it was nothing like what it was back then. It was very special. And when I first arrived in Thailand, I had that same feeling. It was like, oh, what is this feeling? What is this? Like, I feel inspired. I feel literally like a weight has been lifted off my chest.
Wow.
Everything's different, a way of moving, culture, like everything's different. Yeah.
Yep, I can't actually explain in words. And again, when it's emotional, it's not physical, it's not outwardly. I find it really difficult sometimes to find the words fitting enough. But when I get to Thailand, I am the same. I can't. Everything is different, isn't it? It's just that everything is different, but it feels so incredibly calming and safe and beautiful. Like it does every single time I'm there. How would you describe Thailand?
Well, I mean, it depends where you go, right? Because you ask different
Yeah,
people. Like,
that's true.
if somebody's on Bangalore Road or in Patong, their impression, or they're up in Pattaya, they're going to have a different impression, right? And that is sometimes the challenge is that people associate Thailand with sex or, partying, full moon parties.
See,
The
I don't,
beauty
mine is the complete opposite. Like, I don't have that impression of it at all. I don't even see that.
because you're choosing, you're coming with an intention and you're putting yourself in a place where you're surrounded by the things that support and nourish what's already important to you.
Yeah, definitely. So, 15 years ago, arrived Phuket for a few days, got offered a job, Tiger Muay Thai, went to India. What did you do in India?
Yeah, I was studying, not stuttering. I was studying Ayurveda yoga.
Wow.
Yeah, so for the year I left Canada in 2010 and I basically traveled for a full year. I went to Cambodia, India, Bali. I studied breath work, I studied TRE, trauma release exercises. I studied EFT, tapping, studied NLP, and I'm still all the time like what new thing, it's like being a chef, what new spice can we add to the dish to make it even wow, even more wow, or for the nervous
Amazing.
system. And so now I also do sound healing. And, as you mentioned, I don't call myself a healer. Even when I offer a yoga class or I share a class, I don't think of myself as a yoga teacher. My intention is not to teach an Ashtanga practice or like say a Bikram practice where, okay, you're going to put your foot exactly here. I work in detox centers and in fitness and wellness centers where my intention is to help people feel safe in their body. So I feel, and what you would have experienced as well, is when someone comes to me and they're dealing with something, I'm really here to hold their hand while they do their healing work. And
Yeah.
I explain that as in a very simplistic way. If you went for a big night out drinking and you had a little too much to drink, and the next morning you feel terrible, right? You're full of poison, toxicity. Now you
Hmm.
have a friend come over and there's only so much they can do, but having them there
Hmm.
to, you know, pat your head with a cold cloth or, just hold your hand and encourage you to throw up to get that
Yeah.
poison out. That's really what I do. And it's the same, as just even being a personal trainer. You can't do the squats for your client, but having someone there saying, I'm right here for you
Hmm.
and we're going to do this together. So whether
Yeah.
it's a squat
Powerful.
or an emotional purge,
Hmm.
it's important that we know we have someone on our side, on our team, that we have a support system, because sometimes, even to go to the gym could be feel daunting or overwhelming, or there's no motivation. Same with dealing with heavy emotional stress, sadness, anger, grief, guilt. I enjoy holding people's hand and
Hmm.
just encouraging. I can't take it out for you. There's nothing I can do to you, but I
Hmm.
can be here for you while you do the work on yourself.
And that's exactly, for everybody listening, that's exactly what I experienced. I went to Ocean's house, knocked on the door, didn't know what I was going into. In fact, Ocean, you came out to find me. I was struggling to find your beautiful house. You took me and opened the door, and like, how would I even describe it? The most calming, peaceful energy that I've known probably ever. And all these textures and soft furnishings and your Maine Coon cat and just spiritual beyond belief. And I sat down at your table and you talked to me about how things were going to go, and everything was just so open. And in terms of my nervous system, it's like spraying water on a raging fire. It's just like everything felt so calm, and how you talk and how you present and the big fluffy bed that you had me lie on. Like I wish I could take people on this journey with me, what happened to me, but this is why it stuck with me. The whole thing, Ocean, has stuck with me since leaving Thailand, and certainly your session with me. It's a beautiful experience, and I want people, when they come to Phuket with me, I want them to experience what it is you do. So that was the whole experience of working with Ocean. And so we're only getting a flavour of what she does, but when you're in it, it's just something else. So when you were working in Tiger, which is an amazing place, it's got really, really commercial now. But I'm sure, like you say, years ago, it was probably very different. But
Yeah.
the fitness street, I've talked a lot about the fitness street, and it's a place if I've got spare time and my son's going on holiday with my mum, for example, I'll go to Thailand and go to the fitness street. What do you think? Could you explain what the fitness street is to people? Because I try, but again, I'm maybe pretty crap with words, but it's something I've never seen before, and I've travelled a lot.
Well, right now it's become, I define it as the Las Vegas Strip.
Oh
It's
yes,
so what the Las Vegas Strip is for gambling, it is for fitness. So everything heightened. I mean, I'd
absolutely.
love to get a count of how many gyms are on that street now. You know,
Mhm.
there's probably 20, if not more.
Or maybe, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So it's every CrossFit, boxing, Muay Thai, Jiu-Jitsu, yoga, hit, everything you could possibly imagine. So for people that are interested in fitness and wellness and hot yoga, facials, whatever it is you're looking for, it's now all in that one place. But I don't think there's any other place in the entire world that has that much condensed fitness centers and health food, egg white, you know, whatever you want, it's all there on one street. So it's a tourist attraction now, even if you don't work out, just to drive down and see something so wild.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. And I actually see people that are not into fitness, they must go and they want to see it. I've seen that quite a lot when I've been recently. Um, do you stay on the fitness street or you've obviously got your own home now in Rawai?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. So a lot's changed. It was, I mean, it wouldn't be what it is today if it weren't for Tiger Muay Thai. Tiger Muay Thai was the first gym. Then there was Phuket Top Team on the other side, like very other end of the street.
Is that gone now? Phuket Top
Yeah,
Team. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And so, you know, when something's good, other businesses build up around that. And then there's more and more and more. Because if you look at where it's located, it's not actually near the beach, it's in the
Hmm.
middle of nowhere, kind of, you know?
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
it was just a good plot of land in the middle of the jungle before. And
Hmm.
now, because there's so much commercialism, they've just grown and expanded. So
Yeah.
for me, it's too chaotic to live in that. If you're going for a vacation and an experience, yes. But
Hmm.
for me, I need a little more quiet. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
full on. Even when I first got there, you know, in just in Tiger in one camp, we would have sometimes 400 people, and you'd have 4 or 5 classes going on at the same time. And I remember laughing because I was teaching yoga at night. Meanwhile, like next door to me, there's people literally punching each other in the face, screaming, you know, and I'm like, just relax and take a deep breath. And I have these moments, I'm like, where am I? What, like, this is crazy. But it's also life, and how, you know, I would make light and make a joke of it that,
Yeah.
you know, in the middle of chaos, how can you find the peace? And then
Yeah.
at the same time, sometimes you need actual peace. And so for my nervous system now, I need to be in peaceful places. And a beautiful quote that I like to share is to ask yourself the question, and I may have asked you, is what I'm good at good for me? It's so important to ask ourselves, is what I'm good at good for me? So
Mm-hmm.
I was good at raising my voice, teaching to 60 people, being able to handle a lot of chaos.
Mm-hmm.
I realized after a period of time, this is not good for my nervous system because I was wired all the time. I was so overstimulated by being on the street, constantly being around people. So I like to go in and have the experience and then come back
Come
to the,
on. Hmm.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
really quite a pivotal point, actually, because right now in my life, Ocean, and I expressed this to you when we met, um, I'm certainly going and I've got major plans, and but because I have this new energy, it's like I'm going with knowing where before I was going, but it was lots of push energy, lots of
yeah,
huge, massive push energy. Um, And right now in my life, I know I'm going, but I'm going with knowing, and it's given me a calm and a peace and I'm more centered than I've ever been, way more present than I've ever been. I can actually sit and enjoy the simplest of things without having to be up and on the go. But I was running from myself for a long, long time,
Mhm.
emotionally, not doing the inner work required to heal myself, to fix myself. And so that constant, incessant push, it built me a great business, like absolutely, and it provided for my family. But I'm in a different place now, and it's so poignant that you say that because I feel what you've just said more than I've ever felt it, and it feels fucking amazing. And
Yeah.
I'm so looking forward. I'm not wishing this year away. I'm definitely not, but I've committed for a full year to running my programs live. So I'm live every single day for the full year, of every single weekday.
The big commitment.
Yeah, huge commitment, and I made it in December last year. But I'm going to see that out. But next year, I'm so looking forward to going with knowing, but in a different place, energetically a different place, and my work will be very, very different. And I think my clients and the people that work with me will benefit massively from that. So it's great to get on the same sort of page as you because when we talk, it's so calming again because we're kind of on that same level. And I think I've got so much to learn from you and so much to gain from you, Ocean, that I actually want to work with you one to one every single week. And I want to ask you, could you factor that in or not? Is that possible?
Yeah, even as you're talking, so like and what I love, and that's why the body lights up. Our nervous system knows right away. Someone when that's the knowing. So many people are looking at something and they have a knowing from the mind. This is what I need to do. I need to do this,
Yeah.
this, and this. But they're not connected internally. When you know from the heart and you feel it, that's when the goosebumps come. That's when the energy comes. You feel alive again. You feel it. And when you know it from here, you can, the mind can relax because it's not trying to figure out the future. It doesn't matter. It's like the path will present itself. If we're
Mhm.
trying to see beyond, we can come outside of ourselves. When you know in your heart, there's a freedom to let go.
Yeah.
The universe will manifest it because you're in the driver's seat. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And you could read, I mean, all these books behind me, you could read any amount of books, go on any amount of courses, but unless you're in that place where you're ready and open enough to hear and to be and to feel, then nothing's really going to touch it. And it's like people that jump on and off my programs, they're not in a place where they want lasting change. But more than that, there's so much inner work to do. And you alluded to it as well. We concentrate so much on the superficial, the external, and look for validation because of the amount of weight we've lost. It's so much more of an inner game, isn't it?
100%. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, exactly that. So, why I feel often, and even for myself, like I'm my first student, right? In witnessing, often people will look outside of themselves to the book or to the program or the latest thing. They haven't cleared the space out inside to receive even the knowledge that they're getting.
Yeah.
So, they're not able to absorb it through sheer willpower and force, like you said, pushing, we can push ourselves to do something or stay on a program, a diet, a program. But there's still this underlying infestation of pain, sadness, suffering, grief that's not allowing us to absorb properly and really create something new. And I feel that's because there hasn't been, individuals haven't had someone, like I said, to literally hold their hand and go, okay, right, before you take on something new, what do
Hmm.
you need to clear out? What
Hmm.
happened? And sometimes our behaviors and patterns are because we're not even aware of what those are,
Yeah.
right? Old wounds and the emotional eating, it comes from something it's not even conscious. There's
Hmm.
there's some old pain and it's being fed by food.
Hmm.
So it's in a way almost pointless to try and start something new until you've clear this out. You can't go buy new furniture if your house is full of old stuff. Mm.
Yeah. For anybody that's listening, Ocean, if there's anybody, say, keeps revisiting old patterns, like they'll try a program, they'll try a course, they'll read a book, and for a short period of time they'll be able to change, but
Yeah.
inevitably they'll always go back to the old habitual patterns and ways. If there's anybody listening to that who is like, yeah, that is me, like they're talking about me, is there any advice that you could give to someone who could potentially break those patterns to make a difference longer term?
Well, as you experience, I feel everything starts with the physical body. It's getting like really intricate I can't speak clearly today.
Okay.
Intricate
Mhm.
detail. Be super curious about every part of the physical body. There are studies done that say it's really important to massage in between your toes, right? To unlock your jaw. And so as you experience with my work, I'm, sweeping, touching, tapping. We have to feel safe in our physical body. And I don't think any amount of processing something in the mind is going to fix that.
Mhm.
That's why we say as coaches as well for the fitness, like get up and move your body, get fresh air, because most of us in some way are rotting inside of ourselves.
Mhm.
Yeah. So like with the work I do, we don't have to actually talk about any problem. We need to physically move it from the tissues of the body. And so if someone has been traumatized in some way, I mean, and trauma, that's a big word, but I mean, even felt frightened
Yeah.
or been yelled at and suppressed their own voice, felt afraid, right? When we feel afraid, even, if there's a rope on the ground and you think it's a snake and you contract your body and you lock in that tension, we can have decades of tension and pain that is literally suffocating us. And so
Mhm.
I feel like as much body work as possible, I said before, like it feels good to feel good and you don't know what you don't know. Part of when I'm even teaching the yoga practice, I do a lot of self massage, rolling on a tennis ball, like exploring in the body. If something doesn't feel good and not a block, we need to investigate what is that? Why does it not feel safe in my body? And I
Mhm.
believe also ADD is
Mhm.
environmental, right? Why do you feel calm and relaxed in some environments and in others? ADD is the attention going in every direction because the
Mhm.
present moment does not feel safe, right? We
Mhm.
don't want to be in that moment, but we're not always conscious why. And so people are medicated instead of actually changing the environment.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
Interesting. Mhm.
So I hope I answered that question. Simply
You did
feel,
move physical.
yeah,
Yeah.
move the it's not just, I mean, we can move too, right? We can force ourselves to exercise and people get addicted to adrenaline as well. I did that, right? My
Mhm.
thing was, oh, I'm so healthy. I'm training 3 times a day. I'm excessive. No, I was depleting myself. Sometimes someone doesn't even know what feeling safe is. And that's why I think and I keep studying as well, different types of massage, different types of touch is a very different experience for someone to tap on you versus just lay a soft hand on you,
Mhm.
right?
Can you?
Sometimes people need a hug.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. Could you
Really.
explain what you done to me in that session? What forms of touch and things did you use?
Yeah, so we started. First, I was talking to you, right? I
Mhm.
asked you to become aware of the space. I asked you for a question. What is your observation? What are you feeling? What
Mhm.
is the behavior? What is it that you need? So as soon as you walk into the space, right? Really, I also have a short period of time to make you feel comfortable. Because either you're going to go, oh, there's a weird energy in here, right? That's going to make you tense up. So
Mhm.
it was important that when you walk in, it smells good, it feels good. I asked you to be aware of those 4 things: observation, feeling,
Mhm.
behavior, right? What are you bringing into the space? We meet ourselves where we are. So what are you feeling in this moment? And then we do a clearing, or I literally sweep the body. I have you
Mhm.
connect to the breath. reminded you you're doing the work, right? Through the breath, and I'm just following you. But in order for you to go deep into yourself, I needed to relax your muscles and your nervous system. So I had you go on the table. I used vibration so that your body could go, ah. And then I
Okay.
used sound. I think I probably used the sound bowls a little bit, right?
Mhm.
Different layers of vibration, from intense and powerful to very subtle to just sound vibration. And then we went deeper into the breathing when you were laying down. And so
On a
what
big
we're doing,
fluffy white bed.
yeah, exactly. So it's to be able to
Incredible.
sink in. And I took you through a guided meditation and different layers of sound again, so that when you're not having to hold the body and you can just sink, it allows your consciousness to go to different places.
Hmm.
We're just observing. So I never know what's going to happen. I just watch the body,
Hmm.
and I feel that I'm a conduit, like a gatekeeper between where you go in your own mind and on your journey. And that I'm here on this side in this realm to hold you or bring you back when things get overwhelming. Because the body will tell its own story.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And all the treatments and things I've ever done the world over, I have never experienced what I experienced in your house that day. And actually, I was really emotional. I'm not a public crier. I just don't do it. But I could have burst into tears after that session. And I was holding it. And it maybe shouldn't have, but I was holding it because crying in public's not something I like to do. But yeah, I was definitely moved, and things moved inside of me. Whatever happened, happened, um, which has led me to ask you to come onto this podcast. It was that powerful. So amazing.
And that is the intention. And I'm going to bring you back to that. It is the emotion, right? That's actually what we want. When we ask for healing, the
Mhm,
unhealed parts of ourselves come to the surface. And I was just speaking of this morning, this idea that we shouldn't cry in public or we shouldn't be emotional. And I really question, and I know especially people that come from the UK more so than other countries, they're like, oh no, you just get on with it. You don't cry.
mhm,
And
mhm,
I feel like confused in a way still as to where did this first begin? Because
mhm,
everyone has to go to the toilet multiple
mhm,
times a day, right? That's a normal thing and it's accepted. There's restrooms, for that.
yeah,
Yet being emotional, a very normal reaction, a human reaction, just like being thirsty, and yet we're like, no, don't do that. Don't do
yeah,
that in public. Like,
mhm,
why?
yeah,
Why?
right. Mhm.
Yeah. And so this again is my question to people. When you feel emotional and you're suppressing it, does that feel good? How does that feel in your body when your body's saying, I need to just burst out right now,
Mhm.
but I'm
Yeah, it doesn't feel
follow.
good. It doesn't holding it. And you don't feel better, do you, until you actually can get in a space where you can let it out.
Yeah. So
So,
why my question still out to everyone is, why is that considered weakness?
mhm.
Why would that be considered a weakness? Where did that start? You
So
know?
maybe just the ugly crying thing. Maybe I didn't want to do ugly crying in front of you.
Well, next time I say yes to it. And so that again, I didn't grow up a normal child person. I'm not a normal adult to me. And that's why I love this work and probably why people feel comfortable to do it with me. For
Yeah.
me, the more that can come up, the better. I've had
Mhm.
people vomit. I've had people scream at the top of their lungs, like 10 years of pain coming out.
Mm. Wow. Mhm.
Again, how uncomfortable is it to carry the passing of a loved one, the loss of a relationship, just to be dragging it around?
Mhm.
I know we feel better when we can let that go, but we've been told, no, just get on with it.
Mhm.
Instead of, you know what, go to the toilet, let that shit go.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's making you sick inside. It's painful. It's
Right.
causing you to feel stuck and not be able to move and not be creative and not feel free in your own body.
Mhm. just on that, I'm more emotional now than I've ever been. I think it's probably my age. I've just turned 47. It might be that, but God, there's been multiple times over the last week, people have been talking to me about their life, their stories, just normal stuff. And I've welled up. Like, I'm so emotional in my life right now. But it actually feels quite good. This is like probably the feminine energy in me. I've been so maybe masculine energy, push, 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 that taking that pressure off and just being is probably letting these emotions go, which is probably exactly where I need to be.
Yeah.
And it feels strangely nice. So
Yeah.
I'm going to embrace it, and long may that continue.
You remember, if it feels good, it feels good. Yeah.
Definitely. I'm going to just ask you a completely different question now, if you don't
Yeah.
mind.
Yeah.
So, strong woman, bodybuilder, first female, um, first female in Tiger Muay Thai, working for them, and in a male-dominated environment. How have you done that? How have you found that? Have you got any opinions on that? Here we go.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, well, I can definitely say that I've probably offended more Australian men than any other
Okay.
than anyone else. Yeah. It was a challenge. Yeah.
What
Yeah.
was challenging? What happened? Like, what was it like for you? What's it been like for you?
Well, when I first got to that camp, and yeah, only being a female, they're like, "What are you doing here? This is a fight camp for men. Like, who do you think you are being here? You know?" And I'm there to bring yoga and
Hmm.
movement and all of these things. So it was tough. Yeah, it was like doing an internship.
Yeah.
You know,
And has that got
crazy.
better? Has that got better or easier over the years or not?
Yes, it was beautiful, and it's still beautiful to, because again, we don't know what we don't know. So if we're used to communicating a certain way or using even language to communicate, and then you're working with people that don't speak the same language,
Hmm.
but that year I was teaching to sometimes 60 people from all over the world, different culture, different language, different personal issues. And so that was part of my training, I believe, was okay, underneath, we're all actually the same. Everyone's here. Either they're here to lose weight or they're here to compete in the UFC, or, you know, they're overcoming some challenge. So ultimately, everyone wants to feel better.
Hmm.
And I cannot read into what this person's saying or take it personally, because it's actually not my business. I don't know what's going on. How
Hmm.
can I show up and read the room and recognize where people are, you know? And it was a learning curve too. You try
Hmm.
things, you're like, okay, they're not getting this, right? Or in that sense, you know, I come from my country where we communicate a certain way. Like, for example, the C word. Some, you know, I believe in your part of the world, you can use that as just like a daily, like, how's it going?
Sometimes.
I don't know, right? Yeah. And so this is kind of what I mean. Certain words in certain countries are very offensive, but in
Hmm.
other parts of the world, that's just like, how's it going? It's not a
Yeah.
big deal, right? And
Yeah.
so we can find ourselves around certain people feeling really judged or insulted, whatnot. And I've had to learn to let that go and
Hmm.
realize I don't know what I don't know. It's not my place either to say, oh, something's like this, right?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Ocean, do you think your acceptance into what is perceived, or it used to be certainly, a male-dominated environment, do you think that's got easier? Do you think it's, you know, girls now are occupying the gym floor where the dumbbells are more than men sometimes? Do you think it's getting easier for women to be accepted as bodybuilders, as, you know, I'm a like an entity in this just as much as you are?
I don't even know how to answer that question, because it seems that in this day and age, you can be whatever you want to be.
Yep,
Yep.
absolutely
Yeah.
true. Yep, yep, fair enough. Absolutely. You
Yeah.
could be a strawberry if you like.
Yeah. Exactly.
Brilliant.
I mean, I even joke sometimes that I'm like, yes, I look like a white woman, but I identify as Asian. To me, this feels like the real world. I like Asian customs. I like doing this rather than shaking hands. Shaking hands is very uncomfortable for me. I
Hmm.
like taking my shoes off before I step into a room, a
Yeah.
gym, you know? So, we're always, again, you don't know what you don't know. You try a new way of being, and if your body says, "Oh, this feels good.
Hmm.
This is good."
Hmm.
Yeah.
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 Cool. Another question. So I'm looking at you. For those of you that are not on the podcast and can see a video, what we could see here is, oh, she looks incredible. Looks like you take care of yourself. You like to feel good, look good, and be the best you can be, which is amazing. We're all striving for that. Can I ask you what your daily ritual is from when you go, like, get up out of bed in the morning to when you go to your bed at night? What is your daily ritual?
Okay, so daily ritual is really important. I believe when we wake up in the morning, first have a glass of water, and then it is a beautiful practice to pick a card so that you are open to receiving some guidance beyond yourself. So,
Hmm.
what I'd love to offer you right now is I have a deck of cards. I'm going to knock on the cards and I'm going to shuffle them. And then when I say stop, you can tell me if you want from the bottom, from the top, from the middle. I'm going to
Okay.
give you a daily affirmation. Yes.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. I'm up for it.
Shuffling. Okay. Can be from anywhere in the deck. You tell me when to stop.
Okay. Let's see what you're doing.
Oh, I'm just shuffling them
Okay.
around.
Uh,
Yeah.
stop.
Okay. Do you want me to cut the deck? You want it from the top, the bottom? Where should we pick it from?
Cut it in half
Yeah. And you
and
could
go
give me a
from.
number as well. Okay. There's half.
Okay, and just this card here, the top one.
This
Yep.
side?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Boom. Okay. Here we are.
Not giving a fuck is better than revenge. Oh, love it.
Okay. So that's
Okay.
today's daily affirmation. Revenge sucks. Just watch a superhero movie and look at the villains. Those guys suck. Revenge is whack and petty, and it gives you wrinkles. You know what's hot? Being the bigger person and letting that shit go. Hair flip that shit, honey, and move the fuck on.
Yes, high five to that. I'm
So
all
yeah,
for that, by
this,
the way.
what's that?
I'm all for that.
Yeah, we need gentle reminders. So I feel whether it's an angel deck or, you know,
Mhm.
a spiritual as fuck card, we need a reminder before we go out into the world.
Amazing. And do you do this every day?
Yeah, I do it every day for myself. And then also when I teach yoga in the morning at the detox center, we have tea and pick a card. And so that's another ritual is to first ground the body, breathe, and then feed the mind. And this is the way of going, okay, I'm not going to take things personally today, or I'm going to focus on, yeah, on gratitude because there's a lot of heavy stuff going on and having that balance. I wish I could say that I have some like even a ritual. It's very simple. I'm not taking any supplements at the moment.
No. Is that for a reason or?
It's interesting. So I took supplements for so many years. And again, you're like, what's the newest thing, right? I feel I'm in a phase right now where what I need the most is being outside, literally fresh air. I'm having a hard time being inside, not breathing. I need fresh air and water.
Mm-hmm.
I really believe our body knows. Like you will contract when you go to. I had all these probiotics. I've had tablets, and I felt some resistance. Like my body just said no.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I do is I get up, I have a glass of water, and I go outside.
Mm-hmm. And do grounding, like you in barefoot.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I don't really wear. The only time I wear shoes is if I'm in a fitness class and there's jumping. Otherwise, always bare feet. And I think that also, when you said you can't explain what this environment is like, my supplementation is energy. And so if I'm depleted, I know I haven't been in a place with good energy, whether it's the people or the environment, right?
That makes
That's the
perfect
supplement.
sense to me. That makes so much sense to me.
Yeah, and so here's the other thing that I think is a really important piece where people are struggling sometimes in their environment and their work. They're in an office job where they never have bare feet, they're never outside, and they go into an office where everyone also in the office is disconnected from good energy.
Mm-hmm.
Here, right, in Thailand, most people are eating fresh fruit, they're drinking fresh coconuts,
Mm-hmm.
they're in the sun, they're in the warmth. So their nervous system is more connected to the earth and energy. And that's
Yeah.
why often people say, how can these people have so little money and seem so happy? Because they have an abundance of amazing energy around them. And they're,
Absolutely.
yeah, it's so beautiful here, right? And you're literally in bare feet and you have your skin exposed to the natural elements.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the energy of the people around us is
Mm-hmm.
more joyful and alive.
And it's absolutely contagious, isn't it?
Mm.
It really is. You feel it off Thai people, you feel it off the people that are around Thai people, and you exude just a sense of peace and calm, is what I could describe it as. And yeah, I totally agree with you, Ocean.
Yeah.
Um,
So that's my ritual. The main thing is to regulate the nervous system is
mhm.
good energy. What
Yeah,
is good energy? Because you can take all the great best supplements, skincare products, whatever, and still feel absolutely shit because you're around shitty people, right?
high five to that.
Right. Yeah. And I, again, I've been reading things. They say it's not just the people that you interact with. You walk into a room with strangers, being in the same room with them. If they have shitty energy, if they're
Yeah,
angry people, that's going to affect your nervous system. So
all
we
day, every
understand.
day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Totally with you. Yep. And if there's been many times you feel it, I remove myself completely. This is the part that people won't get or don't get, because we work with the public, right? And when the public pay for our service, whatever it is you do, whatever it is I do, they've got a God-given right to be part of the Feel Look Be group or the intermittent fasting group. But when I feel bad energy, whether somebody's paid me or not, I'm able to say no, thank you. Here's a refund. No, no bad feelings, but I can't. I just can't. And people don't like that, Ocean. People hate that. When you say no, and I've had to set like some really strong boundaries because I've worked with a lot of people. Not everybody's going to like me, get me, agree. That's fine. But the bad energy thing, I just can't. It's just
Good.
a no from me. And
Yes.
there's your money. Good luck, all the best, take care. But I've had so much backlash over the years for doing that because I've actually stood up for myself. Even though, I'm a business owner, I can't work with everybody that just says, here's my money. It just doesn't work. So, yeah, I'm there. I'm there with you. Energy is all about energy. And yeah, this is why I'm on this podcast with you right now.
And so the goosebumps just came again because I think it's so important that whatever business you're in or whatever you're doing with your life, to ask over and over again, what is most meaningful to me right now, right? How do I want to feel? Because many people have prestigious jobs or success, or they've worked really hard for something, but the feeling they have every day is anxiety and stress.
Mm-hmm.
So if feeling calm, feeling safe, feeling creative is meaningful, then how is what you're doing supporting that? And
Yep.
if you make what's meaningful to you the most important thing, then it's very easy for you to say, oh, that's not in alignment with my purpose. And
Mm-hmm.
so there's no issue. There's no guilt with that either
Yep.
because it feels right.
Yep,
Yeah.
definitely. What does alignment feel like for you, just personally, just for you? What does alignment feel like?
Safety.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Safety, and that my behaviors are things that I'm proud of. So I know I'm out of alignment
Mm-hmm.
when I'm watching too much TV, when I'm eating foods that I know are bad. I
Yeah.
do a lot of things consciously. I can watch the behavior and then go, okay, that's out of alignment with, when you're alignment, what you're doing, you're proud of. I think that's a simple way of putting it.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
know, when you're
Definitely.
not proud of your own behavior, well, you're out of alignment. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I often describe it as like a flow state. I've not always been in a flow state, but when I'm in flow, it's fucking amazing. Everything, the opportunities come up. You meet great people. You feel amazing. You're at your best. You smile. You've got a bounce in your step. Your eyes sparkle. Just feels amazing, doesn't it? That alignment thing. And so many people are out of alignment because of lots of things that you've said that they don't really know how to get or what even it is it. So these conversations are brilliant because there's a lot of people that will listen to me that'll go, yeah, I've never thought about it that way, and it'll spark something, and they might even now go to a yoga class, Ocean, or think about picking up a book about spirituality or Ayurveda or something that we've discussed, and it's just that we window of Ocean and Shelley are on a podcast. I'll listen to that, and something becomes something from it. My business started from not like 15 clients, and I always say to people from nothing to something could become an everything. And it's maybe even just this podcast, people listening to us now. It might spark something amazing for people, which is why I had to get you on to share what it is you are, what you do in the world and what you bring. You're really, really special, Ocean. I'm so glad that we've met. And for all of my group that are coming to Phuket in March, I want to do a session with you. I want them to experience what it is you do. But from here on in, I would love to work with you once a week, if I could do that, and continue the work that we started in Thailand. Would that be possible?
100%.
Amazing, amazing. And I don't know what that looks like, what sound comes like through the camera or whatever, but I'm sure you'll work your magic and something will come from it. But whatever that looks like, I'm signing up for because I love it.
Yay.
You got any questions for me?
Well, I just want to touch on something that I think is really important. And it was even like when we met, we didn't know each other before, but our nervous system knows when there's an alignment. It just feels good. You feel inspired, excited.
Mm-hmm.
And I have heard recently people say, oh, it's so much harder to make friends as an adult than a child. And that hasn't been my experience. And lately, I've recognized I've met a few people in the bathroom at the gym. That's like actually my meetup place. I feel like it's the best way to meet people. I've made great friends in a period of 2 minutes. You're like, hi, where are you from? Oh, where are you from? And this is beautiful when you're traveling, I guess, as well. And it's like, oh, I like your energy. Right. And I exchanged numbers. My nervous system and theirs knew in that moment, I like this person.
Yeah.
In our head, right? And so I have cleared that idea that it's hard to make friends. And what I believe and what I like to share is that when you know, if you get a good feeling, if that person's energy makes you feel good, even if it's for a split moment, that's your body saying there's an alignment there. And that's all you need to know. Stay open to exploring. Notice how you feel. Some people, when your phone rings, you just see their name and your body contracts. There you go. Look at why. Why is that? Someone else, you get super excited, or you want to look at their Instagram. We look at that too. Are we looking and judging? Or are we looking going, yes, that's cool,
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Totally agree. Ocean, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you.
I can't wait to work with you in the future. In fact, I'm going to try and book you in for next week.
Yeah.
That would be amazing. But from now into March 2026, we'll keep closely in touch, and I'll bring anything that I can to my clients. Ocean, it's been great to speak to you. I will be in touch, and have the best day, whatever you're up to. What time is it now? Were you 6 o'clock?
Yeah.
6 p.m.
Yeah.
Have a great day. I'll be in touch.
Thank you. Have a wonderful day.
You too. Speak soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.